Oh, hello. You'll never guess what came in the mail the other day. This, the commemorative plaque that YouTube sends for achieving 100,000 subscribers. And ironically, this arrived almost on the same day that Tolarian Community College achieved what it now has, which is 120,000 subscribers. I cannot believe either of these things, but you know, this play button from YouTube is something that really means a lot to me, because in the entirety of my life until now, I've never won any awards nor received any trophies. Sure, I have a couple college degrees, but I always felt those were a lot less reflective of any individual thing that I did and more a result of my following a form of requirements and checking off items off a list. But this is something that was a direct result of me, my individual actions and achievements, and I've never received anything like this before in my life. Growing up, I wasn't in any clubs or part of any movements or organizations. I always wanted to be, of course, it's just that I never seemed to find my way on any path that led to anything substantive. I went to a middle school for underachievers and ne'er-do-wells. I shined brightly there, academically anyway. I also got bullied on a daily basis, but that's another video. In contrast, I attended a high school for the gifted. I floundered academically, receiving my first fails ever in classes like advanced biology and invertebrate zoology. I was the only student in my graduating class not continuing on to a four-year institution. Instead, I was going to enroll at a community college. One day, a concerned teacher took me aside and said that there was a college out there for everyone, even for people like me. And naturally, at a school for the gifted is where my classmates would introduce me to Magic the Gathering, something which, quite unexpectedly, would turn into one of the most significant things in my life. I fell from the sciences into the softer subjects of the language arts. I wrote short stories, novels. I collected rejection slip after rejection slip as I transferred from community college to state college, answered phones during the day, and took classes in the evenings. For a while, I saved all these rejection slips, and I tried to make them look like badges of honor. That's how I tried to look at them anyway, but I realized one day that they were all just form letters, that no one was even rejecting what I had written. No one was reading what I had written. It was just getting received and rejected unread. I threw them all away, and eventually, a decade later, in this very basement office, I gave up on my writing. And I gave up on myself ever being more than just an adjunct community college professor. And yet here, amazingly, impossibly, I am more than just an adjunct community college professor. And it's in this very office that I received this plaque that YouTube sends you when you achieve 100,000 subscribers. As far as I know, I was the first Magic the Gathering YouTuber to accomplish this, and currently, I am the largest. Filling out the form to receive the plaque, there weren't enough characters available for Tolarian Community College. Too big a name, I guess. So I just put Tolarian Community. Yeah, Tolarian Community. That resonates with me just as much, if not more, because this plaque is not my doing alone. It is ours. It is yours. In a way, you are on this plaque because you are the Tolarian community. The people who brought me here, brought all of us here. Earlier this week, someone made a comment about my having left a career behind to make these videos. Now, I love being a college professor. I love every aspect of being in the classroom, getting to sit down with bright young minds and talk about literature, rhetoric, critical thought, and analysis. But career? Well, the work itself was rich and fulfilling and important. I do believe that it is important. The realities of the job itself are overwhelmingly bleak. No sick leave, no vacation, no job security, no health care, and no possibility of advancement. Full-time positions simply do not open up regularly, and when they do, it is literally one space, one spot every several years that ends up going to someone that is not already working as an adjunct at that college. So what kind of career is that? I would think, oh my God, what is this going to be like when I'm 40, 50? It's just going to be me doing this forever. At a certain point, I'd be locked out of any other options. What other job could a 45-year-old adjunct English instructor be qualified for? No one anywhere is going to need someone with those qualifications who has led that miserable career. Career. That was the word my chair used when she called me into her office to angrily chew me out for being 15 minutes late to my 8 a.m. office hours that day. Technically, I had only been 5 minutes late, but I had gone into the language arts office to Xerox handouts for class that day, which is how the chair spotted me. I'll never forget what she said to me after shutting down my explanations of no students being in my office at that point, so that's why I went in to make the copies, or no students in my office for office hours any day that semester. But she said, and this is very close to word for word because it is tattooed onto my brain, I know you had a baby recently, and I know that is a big life change, but it has been long enough. It's time to start acting professional again. It's time to start focusing on your career. This is someone who has never once seen me teach, not once. I don't like to brag, but I am a damn amazing teacher. I put my all into my lectures and classes and do far more than most of my colleagues do in the classroom. And for the record, my child is 2 years old. I did not realize that was enough as far as commitment to family over career. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. That was no career. If I ever can't be a YouTuber anymore, I'd rather go in and apply for a job at my local games store than go back to that position. 1 week after that meeting is when you all reached out to me through Patreon and gave me the ability to quit that job and replace it with this one. So when I got this plaque, I thought, wow, this really is the first actual award or accolade that I've ever been given. And yet it is nowhere near the most significant thing that I have been given, which of course is what all of you gave to me and continue to give to me. And for that, I can only say, thank you. Thank you for letting me work for you. And I'll do my best to repay you all in kind. And 120,000 subscribers means, yes, indeed, it's time for the 120,000 Q&A. Post your questions in the comments below. And you know what? My father is coming up for a visit to see me, to see his grandson, and I think very much that we would like to sit down and have him ask me those questions. Or would you have any questions that you want me to ask him? Post them in the comments below. Thank you all for being this part, this significant part, this heart of the Tolarian community.